this week. I'm not going to do every single problem on there to save some time. The rest of the filled in key will also be on the classroom, but I'm going to go through a few of them to help you guys out. The graph below shows the number of teens in a small town with a cell phone. Find the rate of change for each interval listed, round to the nearest tenth. Remember, whenever you see rate of change, think slope, and you have to remember the formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It's not a big deal about what order you subtract in. Just remember it's y's over x's, and you got to go from the same point to the same point. I'm just going to pick one of these to do for now, so I'm going to do from 13 to 14. So 13 is here, 14 is here. Remember, I said it's easiest to write them as points. So 13 and 229, they labeled it for you. 14 and 273. So if I label them x1, y1, x2, y2, m equals 273 because that's my y2 minus my y1 of 229, x2 minus x1. 273 minus 229 gives you 44. 14 minus 13 is 1, so your rate of change is just 14. You would do the same exact thing for B, C, and D. You would write out your points, label them, and plug into the formula. Number 2 is exactly the same. They just don't write out the points for you. So when you're going from A to B, you have to read it on the graph. So that's 8 and negative 3. So negative 3, 8, because this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. And B is at negative 2 and 4. Label them x1, y1, x2, y2. M equals y2 minus y1. It doesn't matter what bigger or smaller, you have to do it in the order. Negative 2 minus negative 3. Be careful with these negatives here. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Negative 2 minus a negative 3 is a positive 1. So we get negative 4 as the rate of change. It should make sense because this is going down, so it is a negative rate of change. If we look back at the last one, this went up, so that's why it was positive. Again, B and C are exactly the same, so I'm going to skip those. 3 I'm also going to skip because it's literally just plugging into the formula. It says for each interval, so you'd have to do it here, here, and here. You'd have to do it 3 times. 4 we will do. It's again each interval, but it has questions after it, and we can't answer the questions until we find them. So it says find the rate of change for each interval. So I'm going to label this one x1, y1, this one x2, y2. So m equals 243 minus 247 over 1 minus 0. You get negative 4 over 1, which is equal to negative 4. I'm going to cross these out so I don't get confused because I already used them. I'm going to relabel this one as x1, y1, and this one as x2, y2 because I got to go between those 2 points. So 237 minus 243 over 4 minus 1. 237 minus 243 is negative 6. 4 minus 1 is 3. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Again, I'm going to cross those out. So I went from 0 to 1, I went from 1 to 4, and now I need to go from 4 to 6. So x1, y1, x2, y2, m equals 235 minus 237 over 6 minus 4. 235 minus 237 is negative 2. 6 minus 4 is 2, so you get negative 1 when you divide those. Oops, let me slide that over for you a bit. So you can see it all. So that's all of the work for the intervals. Part B says, over which pair of weeks was the rate of change the greatest? Remember, negative doesn't matter here. What we're really talking about is weight loss. So the biggest weight loss, even though it's the smallest number, negative 4. So the greatest rate of change was negative 4, which was from weeks 0 to week 1. I should say week 0. And then over which pair was the rate of change the least? They lost the least amount of weight between weeks 4 and 6. So week 4 to week 6. So in this case, you have to do all the different rate of changes in order to answer the questions below. The next few questions, so number 5, we actually did that one right in your notes another day, so I'm going to skip that one because you do have to find between each of these intervals in order to find the greatest. The next 3 questions are all on the conversions, and this is actually the way the Regents exam always asks it. They don't actually make you do it out the way we did in our notes, but I did that way so you guys understand them. So number 6 says Peyton is a sprinter who can run the 40-yard dash in 4.5 seconds. He converts his speed into miles per hour as shown below. Which ratio is incorrectly written to convert his speed? Remember, in order for things to cancel, one needs to be on the top, one on the bottom. So we got rid of yards here, so we have feet per second. Notice, this would have to be flipped to convert it to miles. The feet need to be on the bottom for the feet to cancel. We can't have both feet on top. So this one is incorrectly written, so it's choice 2. Because then after that, seconds and seconds and minutes all cancel. So if they would have had this flipped, we would have had miles per hour correctly. If we look at the next page, number 7, a construction worker needs to move 120 feet cubed of dirt by using a wheelbarrow. One wheelbarrow load holds 8 feet cubed of dirt, and each load takes him 10 minutes to complete. One correct way to figure out the number of hours to complete the job. So you want to look for which ones have improper cancelizations in them, okay? So if we look, feet cubed and feet cubed cancel, load and load cancel. Oh, but minutes are both on top there, so it can't be choice 1. Oh, right here off the bat, feet cubes are both on top, so it can't be choice 2. Oh, and right here, feet cubes are both on top again, so it can't be choice 3. Feet cubed, load, load, minute, all we're left with is in an hour. So choice 4 would be the proper answer. Number 8, the following conversion was done correctly. What were the final units? So we need to look. Well, miles canceled, hours canceled, feet canceled. On top, all I'm left with is inches, and on the bottom, all I'm left with is minutes. So it would be inches per minute.